realize I didn't do a Strange Anime License Friday last week, and for that I apologize. I was in negotiations, see, with friend of the show Jeannie and PA, and these negotiations were fruitful. I managed to score some time with a very, very strange anime license, one that actually saw a US release, one that has the distinction of being the very last Saturn game brought over to these shores. Yes, it's the clamp-tacular Magic Knight Rayearth, featuring the translation efforts of none other than Working Designs and a dub cast that bears no intersection whatsoever to the actual Media Blaster's dub. Come on, it's 1998. What were you expecting? I'll tell you what you weren't expecting: Secret of Mana! Or a very reasonable facsimile, as it were. One moment, Hikaru, Umi, and Fu were chasing a dog around the observation deck at Tokyo Tower. The next moment, they're blown into a fantasy world under siege by evil forces and informed that they're the destined saviors. Stop me if you've heard this one before. After about a good half hour of plot exposition, well-voiced and entertaining plot exposition in mind, but still a good half hour of it, you three girls, swappable by the L and R buttons, set off on a quest to reawaken the machines that, will stop the bad guys via means that no one really seems to understand. All you can tell is that you're supposed to find Mokona, unsure of what a Mokona actually is, and have the local super blacksmith forge you a set of freaking awesome weapons that level up via plot rather than some arbitrary system of experience points. For an action RPG, as it says on the freaking box, Rayearth certainly plays the action element rather heavy, with little to no number crunching outside of buying items and whatnot. The order of the day is running, jumping, slashing, shooting arrows, and flinging spells in real time, much like the aforementioned Secret of Mana. But depending on your own proclivities, its simplicity might be a positive or a negative. Yes, the whole experience is very streamlined, but at the price of forgoing obsessive stat mangling, which might be your thing. The extent of your control is in how to distribute the occasional HP and MP bonuses you can find in the field. Outside of that, spell acquisition is entirely plot-based, level acquisition is entirely plot-based, and enemies drop only restorative items and cash. It's much more of an arcade feel, and were it not for the towns full of NPCs to interrogate, general setting, and or aesthetic, barely deserving of being called an RPG in my book. Not to say it's a bad game after all, far from it, it's just barely an RPG. So tell the text on the box to go take a powder, call it a straight-up action game with towns and chibis and a pretty sweet soundtrack. Well, save for that strange rendition of the opening theme, but hey, folks didn't know jack about international rights acquisitions in '98. Throw in a healthy handful of cutscenes, because why bother with disc-based media if you don't get to use pre-produced video, and you've got the strange but fitting swan song for a strange but fitting console, with an adorable rabbit-looking mascot thing. Bonus.